Hello class, today we are taking a look at our cross multiplication practice. So cross multiplication is a strategy used to solve a proportion, and it does so by eliminating any denominators in our proportion fractions. And once we have eliminated the denominators, we just have a grade 7 equation to solve. So in our guided practice question A, we've got question mark over 20, which is our question mark 220 ratio at the start of the question, is equal to our 2 to 5 ratio. Now remember that you just need to have each term in the ratio serve the same purpose. So in this question, they've started setting up by having the first term be the top and the second term be the bottom, which means in the other ratio, the first term also has to be the top and the second term also has to be the bottom. And that's what we have in our setup. Cross multiply means to multiply the top of each side by the bottom of the other. So we've got our question mark. We need to multiply that by 5 is the value that's connected to that arrow. And our 2 on the top of the other side needs to be multiplied by the bottom of the left side, which is 20. Now we have this equation here. There's no more bottoms, no more fractions, and we can solve this equation by isolating our question mark. So here's our question mark. It is currently being multiplied by 5. To isolate it, we need to undo that, and we undo multiplying by 5 by dividing by 5. So we'll divide both sides by 5. Now our times 5 and multiply by 5 on the left side cancel out, leaving us with just our question mark. And on the right side, we have a calculation to do. So 2 times 20 is 40, and 40 divided by 5 gives us our answer of 8. So if we wanted, we could go back and fill in that 8 to 20 is equal to 2 to 5. And we can check that with proportional reasoning by saying 5 times 4 is 20, and 2 times 4 is 8, which is what we got for our question mark. Likewise, in the next question, I'm going to go ahead and set up top, bottom, top, bottom. So I'm going to have 1.5 over question mark is equal to 7 over 28. I next want to cross multiply, so I'm going to multiply the top of the left side by the bottom of the right side. So that'll be 1.5 in the orange box and 28 in the yellow. And then I'll also multiply the top of the right side by the bottom of the left side. So that'll be 7 times question mark. 7 in blue and question mark in green. Now I want to solve. My question mark is over here. It is being multiplied by 7. So to undo that multiplying by 7, I need to divide that side by 7. What I do to one side of an equation, I must do to the other side as well. 7 times and 7 divide cancel out on that side, leaving me with just question mark. On the other side, I have a calculation to do. So 1.5 times 28, you could long multiply that or use some mental math to figure it out. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. Placeholder is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 4 to 0, and then 1 digit of dots. So we have 42 divided by 7 is equal to question mark, which 42 divided by 7 gives us 6. Okay, and notice over here the question mark's on the right, here the question mark's on the left. Your equal sign means the same as. So if 6 is the same as question mark, then question mark is the same as 6. Okay, we can use the same approach for all of these problems here. So we're going to go ahead and multiply the top of the left side by the bottom of the right side, so 3 times 6. And we'll multiply the top of the right side by the bottom of the left side, so 8 times 9. We're going to solve by undoing the multiplication by 9, by dividing by 9. We have 18 is 3 times 6 divided by 9 is equal to A. 18 divided by 9 is 2, so we can say that A is 2. Continuing downwards, we're again going to cross multiply. So we have 6 times B is equal to 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24, if you want to write that at this stage. And then we undo multiplying B by 6 by dividing by 6. And we get B is equal to 24 divided by 6, which is 4. Question C, we're again going to cross multiply. So we're going to do 4 times 21 and 14 times C. So on the left side, we have 14 multiplied by C is equal to 4 on the right side times 21. 4 times 21 is 84. and that will be equal to 14 times c. And then we want to get our c by itself. So what's the opposite of multiplying by 14? It's dividing. So we'll divide both sides by 14. Now, I need to figure out how many times 14 goes into 84. If I don't know, I can try skip counting by 14s. So 14 plus 14 is 28, plus another 14 is 42, plus another 14 is 56, plus another 14 is 70, plus another 14 is 84. So I do go in exactly a whole number of times, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. C is 6. Question D, again, going to cross multiply. So 6 is connected to the B, and 27 is connected to 18. I'm going to solve that by dividing both sides by 6. So I get B on this side. Now on the other side, remember that the order of multiplication and division in a question does not matter. So I'm going to choose to do 18 divided by 6, which is 3, and 3 times 27 is an easier calculation to do. 3 times 7 is 21, so 81 is my value for B. Again, you could long multiply 27 by 18, and whatever you get, divide that by 6. That would also be still an approach where you should get 81 as your answer. But I noticed some simplification here possible in the 18 divided by 6 part. Going on to the back side, we are given all of our proportions set up as ratios instead of fractions. So I'm going to start solving each of these by writing them as fractions. Remember, it doesn't matter what's on the top and what's on the bottom, but you just want to work through and set those up so that they do match between the two ratios. So for this first column, I'm just going to do top, bottom to keep everything straightforward. So I'll start out with 5 over a is equal to 15 over 9. And I'll go ahead and cross multiply to solve that out. So I'm going to have 5 times 9 is equal to 15 times 8. 5 times 9 is 45. And the opposite of multiplying a by 15 is dividing by 15. So I get a is equal to 45 divided by 15, which is 3. Again, I'm going to do top, bottom for question B. So I'm going to do 2/3 is equal to 4 over B. I'm going to cross multiply. And I'm going to say, well, 2 times B is equal to 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, and I'm going to divide across that 2 and get B is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Question C, again, I'm just going to do top, bottom. So C over 7 is equal to 8 over 14. I'm going to cross multiply. So I'll get C times 14 is equal to 8 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. And the opposite of multiplying by 14 is dividing. So I get C is equal to 56 divided by 14. Go back to my counting by 14s. I get 1, 2, 3, 4 14s make 56. So 56 divided by 14 is 4. This one is sort of written as fractions already. So we have 15 over 80 is equal to D over 16. And we can go ahead and solve that out. So I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. So I'll have 15 times 16 is equal to D times 80. Let's multiply out 15 times 16. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 1 plus 3 is 9. Placeholder 0, 1 times 5, 1 times 1. 240 is our value there. And I want to divide that by 80. To undo this multiplication by 80. Now I know if it was 24 divided by 8, it would be 3. So 240 divided by 80 is also 3 for our value of D. Okay, and obviously you've got your answers there along the bottom to be able to confirm. So A is 3, B is 6, C is 4, and D is 3. And obviously you can work through all the questions in that way. You should be trying to do this without a calculator where needed, because things like long multiplication and long division should be well within your grasp here. But if you do find yourself needing a calculator, you can use it. Make sure you're communicating what you're multiplying or dividing, and you're still showing your cross multiplication, your new equation, and your solving steps. So I hope that has helped you understand your process of cross multiplication to solve a proportion.